and today I'm here doing my movie and television show wrap up for February of 2018. This month I watched 9 films and only 1 TV show, although the majority of the films are actually rewatches, but honestly I am back at uni now. Well, I mean, okay, technically I only came back at uni this week, so like the last week of February, but I spent a lot of time getting ready for that. I spent a lot of time writing and working on YouTube, so I just didn't have as much time to watch things as I wanted to, and sometimes the best thing to do is just put on a movie that you can then do other stuff too. So this month I finished The Good Place season 2B and I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. This show is literally just the best. I managed to get my mum to watch it. I convinced her. I was like, Mum, like, come on, you have to watch The Good Place, and now she is absolutely loving it because it's just so good. The characters are fantastic, the show is just so clever, and I did really wonder how they were going to top season 1, and now again I was wondering, once I found out they were renewed for a 3rd season, I was kind of saying to myself, is this one of those shows that really should have stopped after season 1? But oh, that season finale, they somehow managed to reset everything again, and it was just so much fun. Such an enjoyable show to watch, and I absolutely loved it. Moving on to the movies that I watched this month, the first movie was a rewatch, and that was Iron Man, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. I've decided that before Infinity War comes out, I want to try and rewatch all of the Marvel movies. I really need to get a move on with those because I'm pretty far behind, and the movie comes out in like a month or 2 months. Sorry, so the movie comes out in 2 months time, so I really need to get a move on because there's like a million Marvel movies. It's ridiculous. But I decided to start with Iron Man. Watching it is, you can tell it's definitely the first one, and it's a lot of fun though, like getting to go back and then watch it and sort of see all the foreshadowing stuff that's gonna happen further on. So all the stuff, seeing Agent Coulson in movies again was just so much fun. I love Agent Coulson, I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So getting to see him in a movie again was a lot of fun. I loved the characters. Tony is definitely the best character to start with, I think, for the Marvel Universe. I'm glad they started with Iron Man, but it was kind of a simple story. It was really Marvel finding its feet, and I think that they did it really well, so loved that movie. The second movie was also a rewatch, and that was School of Rock, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. So School of Rock is one of those really fun films that you just can't help but love. Jack Black is hilarious as this teacher for all these kids. The kids themselves are hilarious and fantastic and so musically talented. The songs in the film are awesome. The plot is just so much fun. Some of the words that they say, like the lines, is just hilarious. I watched it with a couple friends and we hadn't seen it in the longest time, but somehow we all managed to remember the lyrics to that final song, and I think that's the mark of when a movie is just so special that you just remember things from it. Funniest thing was, the first time I'd ever watched School of Rock was at a camp that I did, like a rock camp kind of thing. It was like this summer program, and we were gonna watch School of Rock, and these 2 guys sort of said to me, they're like, oh, you remind us so much of Summer, like in the movie. And originally I thought that was a compliment because Summer was played by Miranda Cosgrove, and then I watched the movie and was like, oh, not a compliment. Summer is bossy and kind of a bitch, so thanks a lot to unnamed guys whom I can't remember who insulted me, and I didn't know it at the time. The third movie that I watched this month was another rewatch, and that was Iron Man 2, which I gave 3 out of 5 stars to. For me, I think Iron Man 2 is not as good as the first Iron Man movie. The only thing that I like about it more than the first one is I love Rhodey and I love Pepper. Everything else, I felt like the story was not as strong. I felt like Tony was just a complete waste of space. So I wasn't as big of a fan of that movie, but I still do enjoy it, and I enjoy the connections that it has, like how in the middle of it Coulson goes off, he's been assigned to New Mexico, and then of course knowing where New Mexico is and what happens in New Mexico is kind of like a fun little sort of foreshadowing thing that I got to find when rewatching these films, so that was a lot of fun. I'll just say here though, like I said, I am planning on rewatching all the Marvel movies. I did skip The Incredible Hulk because I don't think I can sit through that movie again. I don't know, I was not a fan of The Incredible Hulk, so I just was like, oh, I'll just skip that one. It's not really important to the story anyway, so I'll just skip it. The fourth movie that I watched this month was yet another rewatch, and that was Thor, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. I really love the Thor movies. Thor was actually the first Marvel film that I ever saw before I went and saw the Avengers, so it's always kind of got a special place in my heart. Thor himself is hilarious, but Loki is just, oh, he's such a manipulative little guy, god thing. But I love him. I love Loki. I love Thor. I love Civ and like Lady Civ in the Warriors 3. I actually really like Jane as a character. I'm a little upset. I understand why she wasn't in Ragnarok, but I do really like her as a character. So getting to see her again was lovely. And then Agent Coulson, obviously, I love him in the film. So the fifth movie that I watched this month was Maze Runner: The Death Cure, and I gave this one 2 out of 5 stars. Okay, a little bit of a run it time. Maze Runner, really good film, really good adaptation, loved it. it. Scorch Trials, terrible adaptation, not the worst movie. Death Cure, terrible adaptation, terrible movie. It was not good, okay? I spent the entire time just being like, what is happening? So basically they skipped over all the most important plot points in the novel, skipped over all of them. Everything that I wanted to see, they skipped. They didn't bother. They were like, you know what? This is really important to the plot. Are we gonna put it in the movie? No, we are not. And you all know I hate Teresa with like a fiery passion. I hate her so much. They actually changed her character a little bit in the film as well, gave her a little bit more of a hero's story. No, she's not a hero. She's a terrible, horrible human being. So there was just so many things about the film that I didn't like. I didn't like where they ended up. There's so much about it that I didn't like. Nothing looked like I had imagined it. It was all completely different. The fact that they skipped a bunch of stuff really bugged me. And the one part of the film where I thought I was going to be ridiculously emotional about, if you guys have read the Death Cure book, then you'd know what I'm talking about. Even that wasn't as emotional because they changed how it happened and I just got really mad about it. I really didn't like that movie. It wasn't good. It was not a good movie. I really didn't like it at all. The sixth movie that I watched this month was Black Panther, and I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. So pretty sure I have the most unpopular opinion when it comes to this film ever, but I was really disappointed in Black Panther. I think I'd built it up to be something so incredible in my head, and then I saw it and I was like, this is discount Lion King. The plot is so basic and there are no stakes in the film at all. I was never worried about a single character because I knew they were in Infinity War. So I was like, where's the conflict here? Where's the tension? Where's the stress? You know, when you go to see a film and something happens to a main character and you just kind of go, oh my god, what if they're not okay? Like, I didn't have any of that. And then while the film was visually stunning, I mean, it was a really stunning film, it just fell kind of flat for me, which is the most unpopular opinion ever, but what are you gonna do? The seventh film that I watched this month was technically another rewatch, but also kind of not. I went and saw The Greatest Showman again, but I saw the sing-along version, so I gave it 5 out of 5 stars, and honestly, if you ever get the chance to go to a sing-along version in the cinema, go. Because it was so much fun. Everyone was singing along to the songs, but funnily enough, it didn't detract from the movie because the movie's so loud, obviously you can hear it, and they're not singing at the top of their lungs, they're just kind of singing along with their favorite songs, and it was so good, so much fun. I need that movie to be on DVD tomorrow, and I bought this CD. I have it on Spotify and Apple Music, but I was like, no, I need this CD for my bookcase, so that happened. The eighth movie that I watched this month was actually another rewatch, and that was the Mortal Instruments City of Bones movie, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. Say what you will about the City of Bones movie, I personally love it. I fell in love with it when I saw it. I definitely have some issues with it. There are definitely some things that they did not do well at all. One of the things that I really struggle with, which I didn't actually notice until my friend pointed it out, why are all the shadow hunters British? It's set in New York, and apart from Alec, apart from Alec and Hodge, none of them have really been to Idris. And Jace, obviously, but even Isabel was British, and I'm like, I don't understand. Even Jocelyn and Luke were British. Jocelyn and Luke, who raised Clary, were both British, yet Clary was American. It just was odd for me. It was an odd moment, but I do love the movie and some of the characters in the film, for example, Jocelyn, Luke, Clary. I prefer their movie counterpart to their TV show counterpart, especially Clary. Clary in the film I love so much more than Clary in the show. But it was just really lovely to get to see the plot of the book played out on screen, and that's something that I really missed out on with the show adaptation, is you don't get to see the book plot played out on screen, and that's something that I really love. But I will always be upset that we never got to see City of Ashes and City of Glass on screen, because City of Glass, going to Alicante and the Binding Rune, seeing that massive battle where the Shadowhunters and the Downwaters work together, that would have been incredible to see on the big screen. So that's one thing I'm always going to be disappointed about. And the ninth movie that I watched this month was Love, Simon, which I gave 4 out of 5 stars to. So I was lucky enough to attend the Penguin Teen Showcase here in Adelaide, and I got to see an exclusive screening of Love, Simon, which was incredible. It was such a good film. It's an incredible adaptation. All of the characters are so well fleshed out. Nick Robinson plays the amazing Simon. He is so adorable and I love him to pieces. They have definitely changed some things from the novel to the movie, which doesn't surprise me in the slightest. A lot of the things that they changed I wasn't surprised about, because I think they've changed it for timing constraints and also narrative flow, that sort of thing. I personally was really happy with all of the changes that were made. I think that if they wanted to adapt Leah on the Offbeat, if Leah on the Offbeat does really well with book sales and if Love, Simon does amazingly in movie sales, they might want to adapt it, but kind of hoping that they don't. I'm kind of hoping they leave Leah alone. I was actually really worried that I was going to struggle with having Catherine Langford as Leah, because I was just, 13 Reasons Why is, I could do a whole nother video about 13 Reasons Why, and I was really worried that I wouldn't be able to separate Catherine from that role, but I could, and she was Leah, and it was a lot of fun to get to see everyone up on stage. They really delved deep into the family aspect, which is something that I absolutely adored. They really explored all the different things. The way they went about how Simon was guessing who Blue was really special and just a really unique and clever way of doing it, so I loved it, and you guys need to see this movie when it comes out in cinemas. I'm definitely going again and I cannot wait. So there we go, those are all of the movies that I watched in February of 2018. Let me know in the comment section below if you have watched any of these movies or TV shows. I would absolutely love to know. If you like this video, be sure to give it a huge thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss a thing. Stay random. Bye.